はい、こんばんはということで、このあらすじにも書いた通り、スタンリー・パラベルか、というゲームをやっていくんですが、これはどっから話すといいのかな。えっとね、あらすじを簡潔に話すと、まず今日の昼に、今日このゲームやろうと思って設定してオプションいじって、で、終わって、で、家出て今帰ってきて、で、なんだ、じゃあやるかと思って開いたら、その画面の明るさを設定してくださいみたいなのが出てきて、これはどういうことなんだろうなって思って、昼間設定したはずなのにもう一回入れるってことは、これは、なんだろうな、オプションが記憶されてなかったのかなと思って進めたら、この犬と猫が友達になるようにスライダーを調節してくださいとか出ちゃって、これは普通じゃないなと思って、こっからのゲームスタートという感じですね。これは何なんだろうな。これマジで何なんだ。全然予兆というか、何のゲームなんだろう。進めていけばいいんだな、多分な。そういうことなんだ。はい、すいません。ちょっとお待たせしました。これは、はあ、かわいい。うんうんうん。いやー、わからんわからんわからん。5が9になるまでスライダーを、調節してください。うん。あなたがスライダーの調節をやめるまでスライダーを調節してください。ちょっと何をおっしゃってるかよくわかんないけど、こんなもんでいいんじゃないか。この2つの造語のどちらがあなたにとって魅力的ですか？スクラムトゥッシュ、オッキュボインカル、オッキュボインカルかな。スライダーを調節しないでください。逆にするとどうなるんだ、これは。今何時かわかりますか？わからん。8時、違うな。10時43分ぐらいか。はい。ちょっと怪しいと思う、今俺。針時計で見たんだけど、多分ずれてる。面白いな。メタ的なゲームなのかな。そもそも時間って何なんでしょうかの質問にはい言えばおかしいだろ。いいえ。あなたは自身のことで私にまだ何か言っていないことがありますか？たくさんあるよ。縦書きの怪文書じゃねえんだからよ。そうだな。はい。助けますけど。はい。いいっすよ。わかんないわかんない。わかんねえな。俺にはわかんねえな。セッティング。そう、このセッティングを、俺今日の日中にやってたんですよ。うん。よくわかんない。会社のゲームなのかな。会社でどうのこうのみたいな。ゲーム上重要な色の横にテキストを追加できます。どういうこと？はあ、よくわかんないけど、ゲームを始める。ちょっと待って。あれ、OBS がマウスカーソルが。ゲームを始める。これでいいんじゃなかろうか。 あ、やばい、なんか飛ばしちゃったぞ。しゃがみが L1 ボタンなんだ。ちょっとやりづれえな。しゃがみが L1 ボタン。はい。ジャンプとかないですか？カーソルがなんか、早いな。カメラ感度7ぐらいでよかろうか。何のゲームなんだこれマジで。あ、そうだ。セッティングでコントロールを見りゃいい。しゃがむ、インタラクト、ポーズ、見る。ポーズ、見る。見るってのは、視点の方向を変えるのね。はいはい。ちょっと待って。めちゃくちゃくしゃみが出そう。ちょっとくしゃみするんで待ってください。はい、すいません。戻りました。危ねえ。探索ゲー
All
な
of
の？
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
伝言ってのはどこだ？伝言？
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
あ、どっちか選べて。ナレーションがフィクション、メタ的な表現をしながら探索するってゲー
This
ムか。
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
いや、なんとも言えんな。まあいいや、じゃあ食堂に行ってみるか。
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
は
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate,
Huh.
beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
はい、戻りました。ちょっと鼻がね、ムズムズするんで。
Yes, really worth it being here
なん
in
か
the
コメン
room.
トに困るな、このゲー
The
ム。
room, so but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
左側のドア。ああ、あれか。何？語り部に沿って俺が動けばいいのか？
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
これ、マウスでいい？まあいいや。マジで何するゲームなんだこれ。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping
はいは
he
い。
might find an answer there.
上の階にあるオフィスに向かう。物置だって。開けんのこれ。お、開いたわ。どういうこと？
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
何もない
So
って
he
ことはない
turned
の？
around and got back on track.
何もないってことはないの？
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
空っぽではないだろう。
No reason to still be here.
ここにいる理由はありません。なんだ上の階。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
下も気になるんだよな。これ窓の外見えないけど、どういうことなんだ。一個上の階とかそういう指定はなかったよな。わ、いいじゃん。重薬用トイレ。うわ、嘘。これ。僕は英語が読めないので、これちょっとわかんないですね。何なんだろう。何もないのか。鏡にも映らねえし、いろいろ勝手に進む。役員誰もいねえぜ。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
ああ、そういう感じなのか。2845。
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
でも、知っているはずもありませんけど。いいや、情を出すか。なんだ。謎解きゲーなのか。
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
いや、知ってますよ。
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
すごいな。
Amazing.
そんな簡潔な、
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
そんな簡潔な感想あるかよ。コメントに困るな、このゲーム。あ、落ちない。あ、床があるのか。なるほど。例のごとく暗くて何も見えんのだが。で、どうすればいいって？避難所みたいな、パニックルーム的なもんなのか、これは。あ、押せばいいのか。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
わかんないわかんない。俺は何をさせられているんだ、このゲームで。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
大きな
Control
ドアを抜
Facility.
けまっすぐ歩きました。あ？脱出。そのなんかあれなのかな？ナレーションに沿って進む人間か、こうなんかあれか、常に選択肢が出続けてるタイプのゲームか。こう能動的な分岐ゲーなのかもわからんけど。まあいいや、最初はじゃあ普通に行ってみるか。会社は？会社は？会社はいいのこれ。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
これあれじゃん。今和の国のアリスの実写版のモニタールームじゃん。ネトフリオリジナルドラマの。どういうこと？ 監視カメラだ。
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
うわ、すげえ。
Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
従業員、ああ、社員管理用のカメラがあるわけだ。はいはいはいはい。スタンリーもその中の一人です。マトリックスかよ。マトリックスじゃん。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
スタンリーはあれなのか、だからマインドコントロールが偶然解けたイレギュラーな存在なのかわかんないけど。
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
どういうこと？まあ、所感としてはあれかな。謎解きゲーではないみたいで。なんなら俺が喋んなくても勝手にゲームが喋ってくれるから楽ではあるが。
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
はいはい。よくわかんないけど、なんかやればいいわけだ。ボトムズの最終話みたいに。サーバーからなんか CPU だかハードディスクをぶっこ抜いていけばクリアになるみたいな。これ懐中電灯とかないですか？具体的に何をすれば終わりになるのかが分かんないから。つっても俺このゲーム始めたまだ1時間30分も経ってないぜ。これか。3？ あれか。0142。0142？ いやなんかもうなんかあっけに取られちゃって何をどうすればいいのか全然わかんない。わかんねえけど指示通りにとりあえず動いてれば進みはするのか。何をいじればいいかわかんないけど。パソコンオフラインオフラインオフラインオフラインオフラインばっか。5施設電源、ああそういうことね。はいはいはい。暗っ。明るくできないこれ。ガンマがねえな。オーディオ一般暗い見えない。マウンドコントロールアイドル制御入力。
He knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
じゃあオフで。What the fuck?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
まあ終わりもクソもないよな。俺30分このゲーム遊んでねえし。自由はすぐそばにあったのです。
Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles
謎が解き明かされていないことを思い起こすのでした。
Where had his co-workers gone?
そうだよね、マインドコントロールされてる同僚たちがいるんだろ。誰一人いないけど。
As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
何まとめに入ってんだ。
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
まとめパートに入ってる。
Stanley stepped through the open door.
俺まだこのゲームの頭文字すら分かってるんだけど。
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new life before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
なんか実績解除されたんだけど。ちょっと待って、どういうこと？そういうことか。マルチエンディングなのか。何度もここからスタートして、なんか別々の行動を取っていくみたいなゲームなのかね。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
はいはいはい。
Stanley
なんとなく
decided
分か
to
っ
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
た。
simply
そういうことなん
missed
だ
the。
ループするんだ。アウターワイルズじゃないけど。乗れんのこれ。アウターワイルズ的なノリでこうやっていく感じ
No
の。
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
じゃあ次は別の行動を取ればいいわけだな。じゃあ全然これ開けようぜ。開かないのか。同僚たちがいないので。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
はあ、なるほどね。そういうタイプのゲームなのか。なんとなく分かったな。ちょっとコメント、どういうゲームな、なんとなくしか分かんないけど。はいはい。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
あれ、俺さっき左側入ったよな。また同じドア入っちゃったかな。
Yet there was not a single person here
同じことを繰り返すんだやっ
Feeling
ぱ。
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
下行っ
hoping
ち
he
ゃうぞ、
might
じゃあ俺。
find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
行かない
to
です、
his
行かないです、
boss's
行かないです。
office.
上なんて行かないです。お？紙。何もない。そうか、そういうメタゲーム
But
なんだ、これ
Stanley
じゃあ。
just couldn't do it.
車あんじゃん。
Considered the
帰ろう
possibility
ぜ
of
もう。
facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
俺がいない。
Doors close automatically behind him wherever he went.
確かに。なんで閉ま
For
る？
that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
本当だ、
At
俺いねえわ。
last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his
これが
tongue.
ゲームだか
He
らですと
just
か？
hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
あ、そういう解
This
釈
is
もあるな
all。a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers
ちょっと
weren't actually
このナレーションず
He
っと
wasn't
喋っ
going
て
to
んだけ
lose
ど。
his job. He wasn't
すごいな、
crazy
このゲーム。
after all.
収録大変でしょ、これ。
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real
ボ
life
タンを
job
押すだけの
pushing
退屈な
buttons.
現実
I
に、
may
キーボードを
enjoy this
叩
while
く
I'm still
サラリー
lucid.
マンなんでしょ、だから多分。
So, he imagined himself flying.
彼は
and began
空
to gently
を
float
飛ぶことを
above the
思いつき
ground.、 Then he imagined
なるほ
himself
ど。
soaring
はいは
through
い。
space on a magical star field, and it too appeared.
ん
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled
どう
that
いう
he
こ
had
と？
still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all
ど
entered
ういう
Stanley's
ことだって
head.
ばよ。
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
それはこのナレーションのこと
Now
か。
the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly
はい
strange.
はいはいはい。
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams,
これ
the
プレイ
truth
ヤーにも
was
向
that,
けてい
of
るんだ
course,
な。
this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving
おお、
himself?
どんだけ喋るんだこれ。
That if he's asleep,
俺が喋る間がねえ。
responsibility for himself?
マジか。
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
はいはい。
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
マシンガントークかよ。
He knew for certain
お前
beyond
合
a
コンで
doubt
嫌われるや
that
つじゃ
this
ねえ
was
か。
in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
ちょっと
He
待っ
would
て。
prove that he was in
うるせえな
control,
こいつ。
that this was a dream.
何なんだ。
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself
ああ、
to
閉じる
wake
な
up.
アウターバイルスじゃないん
He
だぞ。
felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
どういうことです？
Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Wake up みた
I'm
いな。
through with this
ザ
dream.
ヒーロ
I
ー
wish it
太
could be
陽
over.
よみたいな。
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife
あ、妻いるんだ。
and
は
my
い
job.
はい。妻
All
がい
I
るんですね。
want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
でも結婚、
I am okay.
いや、ちょっとプレイヤー置いてきぼりっすわ。なにこれ。
Stanley began screaming.
12B4。
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just
なんだ。
someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I
そう
must
で
be.
なければいけない。
Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
あメタゲームなのか、やっぱじゃあこれは。
This is the story
はいはいはい。
of a woman named
ちょっと待てくれ
Mariella.
よ。今、スタンリーだったじゃないか。次、マリエルか。
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
え
got
ーっと、
dressed,
はいはい。
gathered her belongings,
知
and
っ
walked
て
to
る
her
じゃねえ
house
か。
at work.
なるほ
On
ど。
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
これ
who
俺なのか。
stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
はいはい。
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
わかんないわ
It
かんない。
was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
完全に置いてきぼ
And
り
she
なんだが。
remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of
こ
her
れ何
would
見せられ
affect
てんの
her
俺これ。
career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
はいはい。
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment
救
that
急
she
車ぐらい
stood
呼んだ方がいいんじゃないのか。
staring down at the body,
せめて警察だよな。
and then she turned and ran.
こういうのを繰り返す系のゲームか。はあ。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
なんかできることないか。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a
だから
single
ありとあら
difference.
ゆる行動
Nor did
に
it no matter how
ナレー
hard
ションが
Stanley
つくから
looked, he couldn't
多分
find
いろ
a
んな行
trace
動を
of
取
his
れば
co-workers.
結末というか道中のあれかなナレーションが変わるのかなそれでだからみたいな。 他の同僚の部屋は開かない。いや、ちょっとよくわかんないっすね。お新コンテンツ。新コンテンツだってよ。
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
わかんないです。俺が聞きてんだけど、それは。あ、こっち行けねえし。いや、でもなんかやだな。いや、なんか、このナレーションの思惑通りに行くのがなんか嫌だから、新コンテンツは行かない。何をやらされるか分かったもんじゃない。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
なんか開く扉ねえか。開く扉があればそんなのが入って新しいアクションをやるところなんだが。
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
でもこれ方角だとあれだよな。また会議室、あれじゃない、重役用の部屋行っちゃうよね。それは避けたいところだが。あ、俺さっき気になるのあったな。このエレベーター乗ってみて。いや、戻らないっす。こっち行きたいっす。
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
左？いや、ちょっと右行くわ。行けないんだ。行かせてもらえないんだ。
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
これあれか、俺。
Clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
このメタ野郎に俺、バカにされてんのか、俺。
Now, let's see.
台本漁ってる。
Right, left, down,
おいおい、
right.
収録にペランを挟むんじゃねえ。
Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely...
正面なのかよ。なるほど。なるほど。これは救急車っぽく見えたけど、普通のハイエースか、これ。ハイエースと発電、違うな、これ。車にアメリカでよく見るやつだよね、これ。なんだろう。何をするんです？
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. いや、ネタは俺前の集会で言ってたけど、これ。 Okay. We just have to get back to, oh.
あ、マインドコントロールは本当なんだな、多分。
The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
もう俺このゲーム分かったわ。そういうゲームだな。分かった。
So far off track, Okay, from the top.
そういうゲームか。分かった。セッティングでね、ビデオを、どれかな、一本かな。背景の字幕を濃くするか。あとは、これか。10ぐらいで。10プラスぐらいで。これで OK。なるほど。フィクション。そうか。これを繰り返していろんなエンディングを見ようねってゲームだ、これは。だから明確なクリアはないのかもしれない。多分ね。明確なクリアがないこのゲームをひたすらなんだろうな、探索して、このナレーションのおじさんの言う通りにするのか反逆するのかで、いろんなストーリー分岐を楽しむゲームなんだ。あれ？
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
ドア閉まってますよ。
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room?
俺何も書いてないよ。
Did you move the story somewhere or...
いや別に俺そっちの台本もらってねえし。
I'm the one who wrote the story. was right here just a minute ago.
いや、
I
全
know
然。
for sure that it's here somewhere.
台本もらってないです
Okay
よ、
then, it's an
冒険。
adventure. Come,
Wow.
Stanley. Let's find the story.
さあ、スタンリー、ストーリーを見つけようぜ、みたいな。知らねえよ。しょうがないな。じゃ、付き合ってやるか、じゃあ。もう俺はこのゲームに多分適応できたと思う。多分そういうノリのゲーム、説明が難しいけど、ひたすらこのメタ発言するおっさんと、主人公であるスタンリーと、あとプレイヤーの3人で遊ぶゲームなんだよ、これは。多分ね。なるほどね。
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever
で
been
もこの部屋
on. I
全
can
部繋がっ
promise
てんぞ。
you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game
わかんない。
again?
俺もオプション画面で自分でやれるけど、
progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why
やん
not?
の？あ、今俺文章読んでたじゃん。待ってくれたっていいじゃん。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
はいはい、
Perhaps
行
he
きま
had
す行きま
simply
す。
missed a memo.
伝言を見つけます。なるほどね。じゃあ仲良くやろうかじゃあ。ドアねえじゃねえか、
Okay,
今度
yeah,
は。
it's worse. I might be remembering
行
this
き止ま
wrong.
りじゃないか、これ。
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and
別
see
の
if
方
we
法？
missed anything?
別の方法っていうと、なんか、漁るとか？スタート地点に戻ってもなんもないぜ、多分。ちょっと待って、コメント。が、閉じて。これ YouTube をさ、自分の配信のコメント確認用で、スマホで見てんだけど、これあれね、定期的にエラー入っちゃう。
I
何？
knew we'd miss something.
ど
The
ういうこと？
story. Here it comes.
どういうこと？無限ループじゃないですか、これ。
No, wait.
あれ？
Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
戻ってみましょうって。お宮が変わってるんだ。わお。
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the
失礼。
story? I don't think so. I can't quite
これ
recall.
裏
I believe
じゃん。
my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
いや、知らない。俺はお前と勝負をしたつもりもないんだが。
So, good job.
俺また最初に戻されるわ。
Oh no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
No.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to
リ
restart.
スタート。また戻されるんだ。うわ、もうなんか動線引かれてるよ。
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost,
この
I
通り歩けっ
deployed
て？
the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
そのレールアクションゲームなんて言う言葉あるけど、その通りにやれってのかよ。俺に。嫌だよ、俺は。やりたくねえぞ、そんな。逆らうぜ、俺は。はいはい。あれそれさっき開いてなかったじゃん。いいよ。行かない。別のルート行こうぜ。このおっさんも台本通りやるの嫌だろ、多分。まだ行き止まりなんだ。
I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
じゃあ、付き合わないとダメか？パソコン消してやろうぜ。おい、何ソリティアやってんだよ。遊ぶな、仕事中に。ソリティア、でもまあ、みんなやるよね。ソリティアね。俺も多分子供の頃に、なんか親父がパソコン買ってきて、確かにソリティアやってたわ。
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
なんすか？
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, Is the story of no
目
destination
的地のないストーリーはそれでもストーリーなのでしょ
simply
うか。
by the act of moving forward? Are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience
ちょ
of
っ
that
と、ちょっ
existence,
と理屈
right?
っぽいな、お前は。
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own
ちょっと専門用語はわかんないか
relative
な。
mental subjective construct?
なるほどね。
Whoa, hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
まあ確かに音楽聴きてえわ。そうじゃねえよな。そういう曲じゃねえよな、俺が今聴きてえの。そういう曲俺が今聴きてえのって。あと多分音がうるさいこれ。ちょっと音下げるか。セッティングで。違う、これ OBS の方で配信変えるか。多分俺の声 BGM とかに書き消されてるから、オーディオの詳細プロパティで。まあ、こんぐらい下げて、OK かな。はい。うるせえうるせえ。ちょっと待って。セッティングよ。オーディオ。メイン音量か。90ぐらいでいいんじゃないか。
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
こんなもんで、よか。配信の音がわかんないから、結局。音大丈夫ですよとか、なんかコメントいただけるとありがたいですけど。どうなんですかね。うるっせ、本当に。これあれか、意図的に音量上げてあるんだな。すげえ、スピーカーの方の音下げても全然小さくならん。あ、小さくなったわ。よかった。またこのレイルロード、なんだロールプレイング的なことをやるってか。あれ、俺こっちから来たんだよ。何をやらされてるんだろう。あ、結局上の階で上司を探すのはやらされるんだ。もう長えな、この階だ。ご丁寧に行けなくなってら。もっとさ、これジャズとかあるだろ。なんでこんな、なんなんだよこの曲。壁は走れないだろ。お、クエスチョンだ。すげえ、クエスチョンでクエスチョン書いてあるね、これ。どういうことなんだ。メタゲーだ。006。はあ。直進でいいだろ、俺。楽しく動いてねってことなのかな。彼なりの配慮なんだろうけど、天井まで書かれたらわかんないな。歩けないもんね、そこは。は？何？なんて言った今。俺今コメント確認してて見てなかったんだけど、まあいいや。おいおいおい。お前が書いたんだぜ。何もない。俺このゲーム始めて1時間だから。いや、スタート地点戻るぜじゃん。ザ・スタンリー・パラベル・アドベンチャー・ライン。この通りに動けって？俺のナンバーは427か。どうなる？何をやらされてるんだ俺は。一体。 ああ、いや、俺もそこ行きたくないっす、俺。そこ行きたくないっす、俺。終わっちゃうんだもん、だって。この、頭おかしいルート通ろうぜ。
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss
い
anything.
や、ちょっと道覚えんのだるいな。それは無理かな。道、覚える系は苦手なんだよな。わかんないけど。じゃあ分かって、マインドコントロールルームに戻ればいいんだろう、じゃあ。あれなんかルートが変わってる。あれここだよね。
Oh, no, 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 no.
何
How could you have done this to us?
いや、
After we
なん
trusted
てこと
you,
言われたって
after
わかんない
everything
じゃない
we've
ですか、俺
been
だっ
through.
て。
You... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
リスタートされちゃったよ。ナレーション音量は下げなくてよかったかも。あ、マジっすか。じゃあちょっとありがたいことに。
This is the story of a man named
こんなもんか
Stanley.
な。なるほど。ちょっと OBS の方も、じゃあちょっとだけ上げるか。ちょっとだけブースト。こんぐらいかな ?4%。ありがとうございます。助かりました。
You know what,
Oh,
Stanley?
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I say
whoa, whoa,
forget
whoa,
the
whoa.
adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring,
じゃあ結
mysterious.
局俺演者だから、
This all sounds
台本ないと
perfectly
何もでき
doable.
ないのよ。
Why don't we
プレイ
simply
ヤーだから。
start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
なるほど。まあ言ってしまえば、このおっさんが俺の
Yes,
台本で
this
はあるんだ
is
けど。
exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
そうだ
Go
な。
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
俺から君に何かを提案することはできないんだが。あれ。ストーリーがないから何もない廊下が続くのか。
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
上に何かある。けどこのゲームジャンプないから移動はできないんだよね。あ、違う、ジャンプがないからこう物を乗り越えるってことができないんだよね。しゃがみはあるけど、しゃがみってどこに使うかわからんし。
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
ああ、マジかマジか、本当に
Okay, so I know that each door has to
手
lead
持ち無沙汰だった
which
だ。
means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse
今
door.
手持ち無沙汰でスティックぐるぐる回してたら、
means that
本
our
当に回れって言われて、
destination corresponds with the counter-inverted
これあれじゃないの、見てる人読むんじゃない
reverse
か
origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the
嘘だよ、
correct
俺お
one.
前の言うこと信じない
Another
ぞ。
victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
いや、結構です。混乱エンド
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me
これ俺の
what
奇
this
跡か。
is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
スタンリー死ぬんだ。
Determined?
へ
So now, according to the schedule, I
え。台
restart
本では
the
そうな
game.
ってるって
Then
こと
what?
か。
Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it, I won't do it, I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it?
い
Did
や、
we
ちょっ
break
と
the
よ
cycle?
くわかんないですけど。
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
え
So, okay.
うん。
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
あ、もう戻されたわ。何も押せないのか。引き出しは開かないが。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
はあ、なるほど。ループに見せかけて一本のストーリーパターンもあるわけだ。で、これは本当にループで戻ってきたのかな？わかんないけど。さっきここが開くとか言ってたな。開かねえじゃないか。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
新コンテンツ行ってみるか。
New content? What does that mean, new content?
俺は何をやらされているんだ。うわうわ。
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
なるほど。ああ、本当だ。
The
タイトルだ。
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
なるほど。
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh,
Deluxe.
this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
乾いた笑いが出るよな。なんなんだこのメタに次ぐメタは。
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
なるほど。あ
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if
まあ退屈なわけじゃないんだけ
Let's
ど、
see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
退屈なわけじゃないんだけど、純粋に俺疲れて帰ってきてるからちょっと眠くなってきたかな。
All right.
こういうこと言ったらあれだけど、
Let's see, it's the jump circle.
ジャンプサークル操作方法にジャンプなんてないんだが。おうあ、なるほどね。ジャンプアクションが使えるようになりましたってこと？はいはい。ああ。ジャンプできなくなったけど。
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
マジでジャンプこれだけ？攻略でなんか使うわけじゃないの？あれは？いや別になんもないな。またエレベーター。
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's
俺
just
そんなことないけど
elevators
な。
and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
へえ、それは
I
でか
could
い。
counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000
1000時間。
hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
いやー、ちょっとわかんないですね。新コンテンツをお楽しみいただき誠にありがとうございます。
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
あ、俺友達？あ、終わるの？いやー、なんか、あれ？部屋さっきと違うね。追加コンテンツだからってことかな？すごいね。せっかくね、結構な人数が来てくださってるんですけど、今この配信に、ちょっと眠くなってきてね。
Come over here, in the vent. I want to show you something.
待て。ジャンプしたかったな。
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise?
わかった、わかった。見ますよ、見ます、見ます、見ます、見ます。
Oh,
見ます。
never mind. You're not a dog.
見ますよ。どうでしたっけ？こんなかすか？これで満足ですか
？Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
はい。これ外のあれか、通気口か。うわ、知らねえ場所来た。うわ、流れ物くんじゃん。
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
え？
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
はあ。ああ。コメント困る。なんて言えんだ俺。 わかんないけど進むかじゃあ。ちょっと一旦マイク止めます。あ、止まってね。止めます。はい、戻りました。俺何を見せられてるんだろう。で、この中は広い。
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
そうなん
It
だ。
was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
ダイナマイト。あ、まだ買いなってんの。置けない。アイテムが出せない。これか。じゃあ、ちょっと、まずでどうしよう。あれ。とりあえず、進むけど。いや、頭の中こんがらがってきたな。
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
俺ね、昔なんだっけな、配信始めてすぐの時だね。このチャンネル10年前だけど、配信中にね、寝落ちしたことがあって、もう眠くて寝ちゃったんだよね。っていうぐらいね、俺も今眠い。やっぱ疲れて帰ってきた日に配信やっちゃダメだな。もう眠いんだけど、これも気になるんで、まあ今回はどんなゲームか確認するだけだったから、今日はこのナレーションのおっさんが俺を元に戻したら終わろうかなと思ってる。で、本格的にやるのはまあ来週になるかな。今週は土日両方とも予定が入っちゃってるんで、夜家にいないってんで。眠そう。コメントで書かれちゃった。
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
アセット地獄
Surely
か。
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
まあ、あと強いて言うんであれば、このおじさんがずっと喋ってくれるから、バッと押されてるじゃないか。
The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
バッ
with
と押
his
されてる。
humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even
すげえ
imagine
自画自賛するじゃん。あと字幕切れるのが早い。読み込む前に勝手に消えちゃうから。あ、でもあれだ、おかげで目が覚めてきたわ。よかった、危ね。 なんかこのおじさんがさ、ずっと喋ってるからさ、なんか子守歌みたいになっちゃって、あ、心地いいなーみたいになって寝ちゃったんだよね。なんなら俺今寝落ち軽くしてたし。
Okay, let's see what this one says.
これ
Well, the idea for the game is good. For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets
だってこ
annoying
れ
fast.
説得者。
Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
いや、めちゃく
You
ちゃ
can
説
tell
教
me
臭い
if
と
I'm
思う。
preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
これは
These
何
black
のレビューな
marks
の
on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
発声練習でもしよう。そうだね。発声練習でこれやってね。でも今夜だからね、あんまできないんだよね。さて、目は冴えてきたのだが、なんだっけ、追加コンテンツの部屋だっけこれ。これマイクオンになってるよな。なってるな。さて、これずっとレビュー見せられるの。
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
沈んじゃっ
Not
た
if。it means we can strike these negative
おお、なん
reviews
か出て
from
く
the
る。
record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Wow.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we
スキッ
shall
プボタ
have.
ンを導入しましょう。それはどういうこと？ああ、スキップボタンです
And
よ。
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with
Oh.
just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun.
おい、スキップボタン押しただろ。
You were
黙
only
れ。
frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
いや、だ
But
って
that's the
さ、
power of the button. The minute I
俺が
start
喋
to
り
go
落ちねえんだ
off on
よ、
a
君のおかげ
thoughtless
で。
display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all
まあ、
over.
そういうゲームだと
Oh, I
思うから。
can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about
あ、
this.
純粋に
And
ね、
whether
俺
they'll
君の声聞いてると
edit
ね、
their Steam review,
収
or
録
at
大
least
変なん
change
だろう
the
な
wording
っていう感想しか出て
To
こ
be
ない。
honest, I don't
多
even
分
know if one can
このゲーム
change their
分岐がどれぐらいあるか
reviews.
わかんないけ
I
ど、
guess I should become better
多分
educated
ね、
on exactly how Steam works.
相当量の
Perhaps
台
that
本
would
が
have been the smart thing to
出
check
てきた
on
んじゃ
before
ない
I
か
went
な。
about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine. Okay, welcome back, Stanley.
Yeah,
Now, I should
ただい
say
ま。
that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe
あ、そんな経ってるん
30,
だ。
45 minutes.
あ、本当だ。
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say
帰り道ねえじゃん。
goodbye to it and just wait. How do we get out of here?
そうだね、ねえんだよ。ドアねえんだよ。
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I
裏
don't
か。
feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip
あ、
button.
スキップボタン押せばいいんだな、じゃ
There here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Stanley!
なんだ
Stanley!
よ、なんだよ、
Stanley,
どうし
please
た？
don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
あ、そんな経った？ほんとだ。
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
いいよ、何時間経った？
Back. Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I
あ、
think
1週間？そんな経つ？
or 2 weeks.
2週間？
I've been sitting here all that time.
はいはい。
Just sitting
枯れ
here.
てる。
Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
何が
It
違うん
isn't
だ？
even close.
どう
Because
いうことです？
I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the
企業の
story.
でかい人
None
間
of
が
that
欲しいってこ
matters
と？
anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in.
こいつやかましいな、本当に。どんだけ喋るんだよ、お前。
Oh,
もう十分だろ。
no.
十分喋ったろ。
You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about
Hi, hi,
us
hi.
and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
まあそうだね。
I stopped keeping
1年。
after a year. Have you ever
1年。
sat down in one place and not
はあ。
moved for one entire year? Let me
1年
describe
か。
it for you. To
あ、
begin
これあれ
with,
か、5億年ボタンみたいなもんか、じゃあこれは。
there is only
じゃあな。あ、やっと黙ってくれたわ。うるせえんだもんな、あのおっさんな。もういいでしょ。このゲーム面白いな。こういうメタ演出だけで塗り固められてる感じのゲームなのか。これあれだな、疲れてない時にやった方がいいな、これ。これ、あれだな、今日、いろいろやって帰ってきたから、疲れてる中だったから。あれだな、次やるときはもうちょっと長く時間取れるときかな。あどこだ？アラームがうるせえ。あれか？あれか。あれじゃない。どっから鳴ってんだこれは。なんか赤くちらついてんのは見えんだけど。これか。あれは火災報知器か？
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said.
こいつまさかずっと喋ってんのか。やばいぞお前。いや、マシンガントーカーは仲のいいやつ相手にしとけ、本当に。ほら、同じ事象でもさ、仲のいいやつがやる事象と知らねえ赤の他人がやる事象で印象変わるから、それやめた方がいいよお前、ほんと。
The end is never the
まだ喋ってるこいつ。
end.
なるほど。はいはいはいはい。
The end is never 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 the
何やらされてんの俺。 このループが終わったら寝るって言ったんだけど、終わって。で、次回の放送は時間ある時って言ったんだけど、寝かせてもらえないんだけど。なんで？寝た。これあれか。俺が思ってる以上に時間経ってるな。なんか100年単位で経ってんじゃないの時間。100年単位で、このなんだ。人工物が朽ち果てるぐらいだもんな。下手すりゃ500年経ってるかもな。なんか次を押すとなんかここら辺に植物になってそう。で、朽ち果ててここら辺も空いててさ。で、出られるようになって。で、ナレーションのおっさんが、もう500年待ったよみたいなこと言ってくるんじゃないかな。本当に植物生えてんだけど。マジか。ニーヤオートマタじゃん。ほう。朽ち果てた、ついには。寝かせてくれよ、俺を。あれ。これあれか？脚立とかもなくなってんのかな？あるやん。あるけど、障害物になってて通れない判定だ。なんで堅くなに側面の壁は壊れねえのかな？出すつもりがないんだろうな。アウターワイルズのノマイじゃん、これ。ノマイ文明じゃん。枯れてるー。砂漠。これスキップボタンももう機能しないんだよ、多分ね。いや、面白いんだけど、これあれだな。本当に時間があるときやろう、これは。本当に。なんか疲れて帰ってきた日にやっていいゲームじゃねえわ、これ。さっきも言ったけど、おじさんのナレーションがね、子守歌みたいでね、ちょっとうとうとするんだよね。やかましいのになんか、眠れるって感じの。多分、これが日本語じゃなくて英語だから、何言ってっかわかんない言語だから俺が、うとうとするっていうようなこともあるけど、これはどこ向かっいや、わからんわからん。配信中にね、うとうとしちゃうっていうね、失態はやらかしたものの、このゲームはどんな感じなのか分かりました。メタナレーションのおっさんと、プレイヤーである僕と、で、その、プレイヤーである僕が動かすスタンリーという男の、3人漫才ゲームなんですかね、これは。わかんないですけど。じゃあメニューを終了するで。戻ってきましたと。いうことで。今日は冒頭部分だけやるってことだったんで。てか、このゲーム冒頭とかっていうくくりはないんだよね、多分ね。そう、なんかやるたびにいろんなエンディング、いろんな分岐、いろんな展開があって、それ全部におっさんがナレーションつけてきて、多分このゲームの台本の量は多分未だかつて見たことない量の台本があって、ギャラもたくさん払ってて、このナレーションのおじさんにっていうインディーズゲームにしてはだいぶ力のこもったゲームだと思いますね。いやー、面白かったけど、次はちゃんと疲れてなくて眠たくない時にやらせていただきますので、よろしくお願いします。今日はもう疲れたので寝かせていただきます。すいませんでした。また次回あればやりますので、その時はよろしくお願いいたします。ではでは、おやすみなさい。またね。